Alright gang, welcome back to our competitive one-tile challenge here on Farmlands. My friends Rusty Money Gaming and Crustu. It's July. Evidently rains in the forecast, but if we go ahead and look at the actual calendar, I don't see any rain on the calendar, so I'm not sure when the rain will get here. But nonetheless, we do have fields that are ready to harvest today. Also, in the last episode, you probably saw towards the end of it that we were messing, well, Rusty was chasing me down, and I decided I was going to run into Crustu and actually accidentally pushed him into some of his crop and killed it. So to be fair, I said I was going to kill some of my crop as well, so I've done so. He didn't ask me to do that. He said, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. But I did feel a little bad about that at the end of the last episode, so I did do that. But nonetheless, we do have these two fields today that are ready to harvest. Now, the problem we have right now is we don't have a header for our harvester, so we've got to buy a header. Now, I've already got some of the pallets up here stacked on top. I think hopefully here after this one, we probably will be holding on to a lot of the pallets until it's the best time to sell them as we move forward. But we do have some that are able to sell now for an okay price, and really we're going to need that money so we can continue to operate and not be in the negative, right? We've got to buy that header, which is going to cost us around $10,000, and then we're just going to need a little bit of money for overnight fees and interest and things like that. Now, I have put something else down on the farm between the, between the last episode and this one. It's a bit of a money maker for us, and I will talk about that soon. You may see it already, and if you don't, we'll talk about it soon enough. But we're going to go sell these first. Now, I've got to kind of sell all three of these, at different locations. Now, the pumpkins are going to the place that you're normally used to seeing them go to. So we're going to take the pumpkins first. It's just going to be easier to do that. Then we're going to take the aged goat cheese to up by the shop where we normally sell that at. And then I think the crickets are at this little tiny shop right here by the hotel. I think. So we're going to have to kind of come back, basically. We're going to have to overlap what we did already. But I don't want any of these other things selling at any of the other shops, right? We want to make sure we're getting the best money for them. So we're going to have to do a bit of a ring around all the different sell points here for a minute until we get all of this accomplished. But how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good, man. All things considered, we're getting $1,000 per pumpkin here. It's pretty decent. It's better than what it was. It was 900 and something, I think, last month. Okay, so that's done. So realistically, what we need to do now is we need to go up to the market, sell it there by the shop first, and kind of back up the aged goat cheese in it until it sells, and hopefully we don't sell the crickets at the same time. Then we'll come back and sell the crickets straight ahead here at this little tiny shop here. So that's really the goal here. That's really the focus. That's what we need to try to do at least. Hopefully we get it to work out as we want. We're going to try to back this up in there. We've added a few more mods into play. Not anything specific that I'm really going to go through or anything, but added a inexpensive maintenance type of mod. We utilize it actually in the Aqua Farm series, the Skyfin Aqua Farm series. So we added that and a couple other minor things. Nothing crazy. There we go. Perfect. 7,996. It definitely could be better, but that is still a pretty good price, I think, for the goat milk. So gets us to 22,000. We're a lot more comfortable now, and now it's just a matter of us selling these crickets back here where I told you about. And it should get us close to 26,000, I would think. Maybe a little over it. 27,000, as a matter of fact. So that's fantastic. So that puts us in a real good spot. Now we can go ahead and buy a header, and we can get started on the harvest, which is going to be great for us. Now, the thing I added that you may or may not saw, I added a bit of a generator, if you will. A very small one. It's not going to make us an absolute insane amount of money, but it will make a little bit of money, help offset the loan a bit for the time being. Kind of tucked it away. Now, the guys obviously do watch my videos, so they're going to find out about it now, but anyway. I did add a bit of a little propane tank selling point right here in the back. There really was no reason. It was kind of wasted space back here, so I figured why not throw it back there, make a little bit of money. It's not making us, it's not like a crazy amount of money. It's a very small amount of money, as a matter of fact. Ooh, we had another pile of crickets that spawned from the process of doing that selling. Oh well. But it's a very small amount. And so I guess what I'm trying to get at is it's not like it's going to all of a sudden we're going to have thousands upon thousands of dollars coming in. I think we only make like $200 or $300, I think, a month. It's nothing crazy, but it's something, right? So we'll take it. It did cost a little bit of money. Obviously, you saw that. What we started with was less than where we ended off the last episode. Now, granted, about 1,000 of it or so, a little over 1,000 of it goes towards the loan and things like that. So hopefully that will help offset a little bit of that. Maybe we'll just get it down to exactly 1,000 or right around 1,000 that we're, incurring as far as the interest goes every month, right? So we're going to bring this up to the shop, and we've got to buy a header for it. Unfortunately, there is no header out here. This would be fantastic for us to have, this wheel loader, but that is way out of our price range right now. Way out of our price range right now. The other problem we have here is that when we harvest, right, we talked about it, we don't have any specific silos. We have some other silos that were installed. There's still nothing that's inexpensive or cheap by any means, and there's still nothing that has a ton of capacity for a cheaper price. So we've got to kind of think about what we're going to do here. I really think the mill is the way to go here, but we don't really have enough money to do a header and the mill right now. So we are going to have to figure something out as we move along here, but we will figure something out. I assure you, we will. Okay, so the one we're using is this one. So this is the header we want, 8,500, a little bit cheaper than what I thought it was, which that's fine with me. Okay, so we want to try to match this with ours as much as we can here. So the bulk of it is the dark green. Okay. So we do the bulk of it as the dark green. This one should be the tan, I think, personally. And I'm not sure if I should make that tan or green. I kind of like the tan, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of like the way that looks. We'll go with that. Lucky it didn't cost us any extra money to modify the colors there. This is a good day, man. This is a great day for us. Super excited about this. Now, I will show you a couple of things that we did install here. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all of them. Eventually, you'll see them, I'm sure. On one of our channels, I'm sure you will. But there is some of these silos that we installed down here at the bottom. Now, I've used these in the past. It's these FS 18, 19, 14, whatever you want to call them. See, they don't hold that much, and they're actually not that cheap, right? We've got these as well, which are probably the better choice, because this one, a little bit cheaper and a little bit more storage. But nonetheless, we're trying to keep it so it's not super unrealistic, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Where we have a silo that has millions of liters of capacity and only costs you like $5,000, like that's just going to make it too easy, right? So I guess what I'm trying to get at is, when we're done doing these harvests, what are we going to do with this stuff, right? We're either going to have to buy one of the cheaper silos, or we're going to have to consider doing the mill. But the problem, I think, with the mill is I don't think we're going to be able to put everything that we want into this mill. Meaning, when we're done with the harvest, we're going to have still leftover harvest, and there's two different crop types here. So I think that's going to be a problem, I guess is how I'll put it. Now, this one would be wonderful to have. It's $31,000. We're not quite where we need to be at for there, and I don't think we can get there today, no matter what we do, unless, of course, we maybe sell our initial chicken coop here, which looks like it is out of food. So that is an option. That is a high option, and it's an option that we're probably going to do. We put that other one down, the other chicken pasture down, which has tons more chickens for us in it. This one ran out of food now. It has some eggs there, which we can move those. That's not a problem. But we can sell this actual... it won't let me do it right now, but if I was to sell it... Okay, or it won't even let me select it, but anyway. If I was to select it... Why are you not letting me select it? I'm in demolition mode. I was in demolition mode last time. Oh yeah, it won't even tell me. It won't tell me till I get rid of them. But anyway, I think it's going to give us around like $6,000 or $7,000 back. That would get us a lot closer to where we need to be at. But once again, we're still probably not going to be able to get to that 31,000. So if we look at the other ones that I was talking about, the other mills, we've used these in the past. We have. They don't hold that much. It doesn't even tell you how much they hold, but they don't hold that much, and they utilize a lot of silos that are around them as part of their storage, right? So, they're not cheap either, right? 20,000 for the small one, 27 for the big one, 23 for the middle one. So it almost to me kind of seems like maybe I should try my best to get to this one. But the problem, I guess, with this one is it only does flour. It does not do canola oil, and really I wanted to do both, and this one allows us to do both. So there's some choices to be made there, I guess is what how I'm gonna put it. There's some choices to be made. Now we are gonna drop straw here. We're not really gonna have a whole lot we can do with that straw. We can put it in our silage pole though, as a storage until it's best time to sell it. But eventually, I do have ideas and plans that I'm planning to utilize for this straw. So early on, probably just going to be a sell just to make some extra money. But eventually down the line here, you know, we have plans for the straw. Let's put it that way. Now, we are recording this video on a Sunday. I talked about it, I think, in the last episode that we are going to start aiming to try to bump this series up to 2 times a week. And that is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be trying to record most Sundays. If one of us can on a Sunday, then it'll just be a time period where there's only one release that week. Oops, I guess I dropped some over there. But the main goal here for us is to kind of bump this series up to twice a week. Now, we haven't fully decided the day yet. More than likely, this episode that you're seeing right now is either going to be released on a Wednesday or a Thursday. It's one of those two. For me, it doesn't really make a difference at all. It's more for the guys more than me. You know, they've got more, I think, very specific type of schedules for when they release stuff versus I do. You know, I've got a schedule for this series. Obviously, it's on Saturdays. And then I have a schedule for the Survive 25 series on Sundays. But the rest of the week, it's just kind of interchangeable, right, with the other 2 series that I'm running. It really doesn't make a difference when they come out, right? So, for me, it doesn't matter, but I just think from a standpoint of you know, the progress and actually being able to edit it and give enough time to do that and enough time for any members on the channel to be able to watch it early if they want to, right? I think that is a good amount of time, a Wednesday or a Thursday, right? So we'll see, right? What's really going to, like I said, depend on what they want to do. But from my perspective, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. I just was saying Wednesday because I just felt like that was, you know, kind of in the middle. But Thursday works too, right? Really doesn't matter. So we'll figure that out, and whenever you're watching this, that's obviously when it's going to be as we move forward. Now, we are already 40% full, so we're getting a relatively good yield off this field, which is great. I think we should be able to get the whole field done. I'm going to turn these lines off. I don't really need them on. I think we should be able to get the whole field done without having to unload, right? I think. It might be close, actually. Now it might be close. I might have spoke too soon. It might be close, but in theory, I think we should be able to get this whole field done without having to unload. Now, this is barley. The other one, I believe, is oat. That is going to be a problem, right? When we've got both of those, we've got to have somewhere to store them. We've got to figure the silo out or the mill out or whatever we do. We got to figure that out. We have to figure that out. Now, other thing I didn't mention before, we do have some silage to sell. So that could produce us a little bit of money as well. 61,000 liters of silage, as a matter of fact, that's quite a lot of silage. But we do have silage that we can do. We also have grass that we can mow today. I don't think we're going to mow the grass today, but we have that option to mow the grass if we want to. Don't really have... You know, if I had a second tractor right now, absolutely, I would probably put it on a worker and just tell the worker just to mow the whole grass, even though, you know, I almost want to kind of separate it. I would probably just tell the worker at this point, just go ahead and mow the whole thing. But we don't have that option, right? Now, I could put the worker on there right now while I'm doing this harvesting, because clearly I'm not using the tractor right now, but, you know, eventually I am going to have to use the tractor. We're going to have to unload this at some point, and I'm already eating my own words because we're 57% full, and there's still a lot left in this field. We are going to be full before we finish it. There's not going to be much left when we are full, but we are definitely going to be full on this field. before the harvest is done. So, a good thing, but also a bad thing because we've got to figure out what we're doing now. Now, we do have the eggs, like I said, that we can sell. We can sell all those chickens over there. We can sell that silo over there. I think we're going to be doing all of that. My initial thought in the last episode and the previous episodes when I talked about, adding the one that we did add, right, the open air one over there with the sheep and the goats, was that we would keep this one for a while because what I want to do over there, we don't really have the money for it yet. And that was truly the intention. But I think at this point, I think we should maybe try to shift gears here a minute and make a change here and just sell it so we can actually open up a little bit of extra funds for us so we can maybe do something here with these crops instead of just selling them outright right now when it's the worst time to sell them. Not really what I want to do. Now, at the time of this recording, I actually haven't had the chance to watch any of the guys' videos from yesterday, the typical release day on Saturday. Because, like I said, we're recording this on Sunday morning, early morning, as a matter of fact. So I haven't had the chance to watch theirs. So I don't know what Rusty did with his harvest from the last episode. He did have a harvest that he did in the last episode. No idea if he just sold it outright or what. I don't see any kind of a silo on his land. Maybe I missed something. Maybe he does have like a hidden silo that he put down. So he might have just sold it outright. I don't know for sure. Or maybe he has a production that I'm missing that he used that for. Now, the price of eggs are not terrible right now, but the reason I didn't sell them is because I really want to get the best price for the eggs if I can absolutely help it or not. Eggs fluctuate a lot. Some of these other things we've been selling, they fluctuate, but it's like, $500, $100, maybe $1,000 at most. It's not an absolute insane amount of fluctuation. The eggs are a different story. Same with the sheep wool. That's a different story as well. I looked at that. The wool it's not good right now. So that's why we're not doing anything with that. Eventually, we will be doing stuff with the wool as well, but we're not quite there yet anyway. So it looks like probably the next pass we do here, we are going to be full. We're going to need to get the pipe out. We're going to go and need to get to a trailer and kind of unload. But before we do that, like I said, we should get rid of the chickens, I think. The greenhouse chicken coop. I really like that chicken coop, but I just think it's going to put us a little bit behind the 8 ball here with the mod that, all the guys had installed or requested to be installed here with the open air ones. I think it's just putting us a bit behind the 8 ball, so we're going to have to make a change there. So let's go ahead and sell these chickens first of all. Then we'll sell this, and that will open up a lot of money for us. Okay, so they're not really going to be worth a ton. As a matter of fact, we're losing money on selling these chickens because they're babies, I guess. Man, we're not making anything off of this. Well, that's fine. All right. And now we should be able to get rid of this. 8,660. So yeah, that opens up quite a lot more money for us, right? Opens up a lot more money for us. 27,951. Now, it still doesn't help us with being able to buy this one, which I think has a pretty large storage. As you can see, it's got some silos on the side, right? So I think this is it would be wonderful to have this. I just don't think it's actually feasible right now. As much as I would love to have it, it just doesn't make sense. So one of these is likely the way we're going to go here. Now, we're utilizing this small one in the Aqua Farm series. It's great. It doesn't have the largest amount of storage. I think this is the one we used in our Vintage Survival. I'm not really sure. I think we used this one at some point, but I don't remember when. But again, this is 27,000. This is going to take all of our money. Like every single bit of it. I don't know which one to pick here, gang. I really don't. I'm leaning towards this one, just because it's a little bit larger, but it's a little bit cheaper than the other ones as well. I'm not really sure where to put this either, I'm gonna be honest with you. Part of me thinks I should put it here, because I had planned on doing a bit of a drive area here, right, with some productions here. So part of me thinks I should put it here, but then I'm going to take up a lot of this space if I do that. I think maybe I should just throw it in the middle somewhere. Well, it's there now. Whether we want it there or not, that's where it's going for the time being. So, we can move it later on, I guess. So, we need to jump into this. I'm going to unhook that. We're going to get our initial trailer out here. We're going to utilize that one for the time being. It should be plenty. It should have plenty of capacity, I guess is what I mean. Now, I probably should open this up and turn this on. So, the way this works is you have to come over here and open this thing up. I think it's B. Yeah, it is. I just wasn't close enough. So, you have to open that up for it to actually be able to unload anything. And then I need to turn it on. So, we're literally going to turn all of this stuff on. Even though we're not going to be utilizing it, at least it has the actual mill is actually turning now. And that's going to get the other guys a little curious and worried, I think, that I've already got a mill going. I'm feeling pretty good about the spot we're in right now, gang. I really am. I'm feeling good about it. So it leaves us with 4951, but that's okay. That should be enough to suffice until August, right? We'll have more stuff we can sell in August, and we're going to start getting the flour that's going to be made from this barley as well, right? So this is all... These are all parts of the objectives here. These are all good things for us. Truly, they are. It's going to put us in a real good spot. And then the straw, obviously, is going to put us in a good spot, too, when we're picking up all this straw, right? So, I've rambled on for a long, long time already. Let's get started. Let's get the rest of this done. Let's get the rest of the oat done. They'll both be going into the mill, at least as much as we can. If we run out of room in the mill, which there's a high probability we will. I think they only hold, 27,000. So that is significantly more, actually, than the small one. I will tell you that. The small one was like 15,000, I think, if I remember correctly. But anyway, this should, in theory, be able to hold everything that we're trying to do from these two fields. These aren't the largest ones. That big oat field over there, I might have a little bit of a worry about. But these two should be okay for the time being. And make us some flour, which in the long run is going to make us a lot of money. So let's get to work. All right, the fields are all done here, gang. I feel like the oat, we didn't get as good of a yield out of it, but it might be because it's... No, it looks like it's almost the exact same size field. Maybe it's a little bit smaller, I don't know, but it doesn't feel like we did as good on the oat as we did with the barley there, but nonetheless, the mill's going. We've already got flour being created, which is fantastic for us, and yeah, we're going to go drop the rest of this oat off in there. The continuation of that process of creating more flour for us. Love having the mill here on the yard. It looks great. It's definitely going to make them a little jealous, I think. And speaking of that, we really haven't taken a peek to see what they're doing, and we will do that at the end of the episode today. We will do a bit of a flyby. But as I've always mentioned, I recommend you watch their videos as well just to see further details. Looks like, just from the distance here, looks like Rusty is doing a little baling over there. I think he also had a field that he harvested at least at... Well, no, that might be the one from the last episode. I don't know for sure. But anyway. No, I think it was a different field. I think that was a different field. Alright. All of our harvest is in our mill. So I'm glad I bought the middle one because it does give us, it looks like, plenty of room for the most part to be able to store any harvest we do. And I think it's going to chew through quite a bit of that between now and the next episode. So that's a real good thing for us. Now, I'm pretty sure it does, but just bear with me for a minute because I need to double check this. It doesn't really say, but I'm pretty sure that our baler can also bale this straw. I'm almost positive it can bale the straw, as a matter of fact. Now, I'm going to do the small bale. So the guys told me they've all, I think, changed things out a bit. I'm still utilizing this, but they've all told me that the big bales, at least for the trailer that I currently have, if I don't get a full trailer load, there's like a glitch there, and it won't unload them. So because of that reason, I'm not even going to really focus on doing the bigger bales, even though it might be a little bit easier overall to maneuver those. I just think I'm not going to do that, just to make sure that I don't run into that issue. Now, I could obviously upgrade and change out my trailer to what they're utilizing, but I'm not going to right now. The trailer I have now is honestly sufficient. Do I have to make a couple of trips sometimes? Sure. But it's fine. It's not a big deal in my eyes right now to focus on trying to modify that, so we're not going to. Now, soon, it's actually already feeling a little bit, which is crazy, but soon enough, this yard is going to get really busy. And what I mean by that is it's going to have stuff everywhere. It's going to not have as much room as we have had up to this point, and it's going to feel a little claustrophobic in there, I think. Oh yeah, picking it up, no problems. Good. So we're going to get all of these done now. Now, not necessarily, I'm sure, if we're going to pick up all the bales today. I'm sure we actually will, as a matter of fact, now that I say that. But so we've got this to do. The grass, like I said, over there needs to be mowed. I think we need to do a second application of fertilizer on this grass field here. We do. So we should put second application of fertilizer down on this grass field that we drilled in the last episode, right? We were kind of going back and forth on what we were going to do with this field, and then I decided to go ahead and turn it into another grass field for the time being. Won't always be that way, but for the time being. Oh, that's perfect. Just drive right down the middle. It picks up 3 rows. This is fantastic, man. Now, straw. Not the best to sell. I did take a peek at that while off camera. It's actually the worst time to sell it, which you kind of expected that. However, if you look at the bale export, it's $52, which it says is the average best price is $52. So I think it'll go up at the bale export than the $52. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it will. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I could go sell it right now if I really wanted to. I don't think we're going to, but I could. But I guess we can test that out when the time comes here, right? I guess we'll be able to figure that out pretty quickly if that is a true statement. You know, when we go to sell in December, is the price better at bale export than $52? If it's $52, then we know, as we move forward here, we can just sell the straw at the bale export throughout the year without having to hold on to it. But like I said, hopefully hopefully by next season, we'll have enough money to do some of the stuff that I'm not going to tell you what it is, but some of the stuff I want to do with this straw. There are things that we can utilize this straw for that are on my plan. If you imagine a timeline plan of things I wanted to accomplish, having straw is one of them. I'm going to have to go back through there and touch up a little bit of this, but that's okay. We are going to need some square bale twine here relatively soon, it looks like. I don't remember how much it costs. I hope it's not a ton of money. Now, we are going to sell some silage today. It should be a good price still. We've kind of looked at that, and that's why I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that the straw is probably a similar setup as the silage, where if we take it to the bale export, it doesn't really fluctuate all that much. Yeah, see, bale export's 180 right now, and it says the average best price is 136. So let's clean up this area here that I messed up on a little bit, or I missed a little bit, I guess is what I should say. Messed up probably isn't the right word. Crustu has also, I can tell you, if you haven't watched this for whatever reason, he has gone full-fledged root crops, it appears. Which that is going to, when it comes time to harvest for him, that is going to be a bit of a struggle, I think, for him. It's going to take a while. But it probably is going to produce him quite a bit of money too, though, right? So it's probably worth it. He's probably going to have to do a lot more, you know, preliminary work and maybe post work, you know, off camera. As we've mentioned a number of times, right? We do some work off camera, all three of us. So he's probably going to have a lot more to do when it becomes time to harvest some of that stuff. Now, speaking of that, when is his harvesting time for some of that stuff? I don't know. Well, carrots coming up soon, it looks like. Yeah, everything looks like the beets, it looks like it's all starting next month for him. So he's going to be a busy camper here the next couple of months. The next couple of episodes is what I should say. We got 2 out of 10 twine bales left. I just hope we can get this field done today without having to buy more. I think we're going to be able to accomplish it, but we got to sell some silage today too. We really need to sell some silage and make some money because we're going to need to buy that twine. We're going to be ready to mow very soon. As a matter of fact, if we look at the fields here, I mean, we're going to have tons to harvest next month. We're going to be super busy next month. The odds are we're not going to be able to get all the straw and everything we're going to have to do next month up off the ground. Matter of fact, I can tell you we're not going to be able to get all of it up off the ground. We're going to run out of time. Next month, we're going to have to do both of these fields. This field, this is a grass field, so it can wait. Obviously, our big grass field's ready to harvest today, too, so we can mow that. We got a lot of things, really. A lot of things. So that's why I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can on these fields here today, because technically, next month, we can actually drill as well. So the problem is going to be coming into play is we've got all this stuff to do, and we need a second tractor. Maybe I should have bought the old Crustu tractor that he sold. Maybe I should have bought it. It's going to become a problem here. Think what we might want to consider doing, because I made these fields small on purpose early on, but I feel like we haven't even really gone that far. We're just now starting the first harvest season, but I feel like it's already a point where we might want to consider combining at least a couple of them, so that way we can stagger them even more than what we have. I don't know. Probably jumping the gun there a bit, but... Alright, we're pretty much done. We just got to get this last little bit here, and then we're going to go grab the trailer. I'm just going to go pick them up. We might as well just go ahead and knock it all out right now. There's no reason not to, in my opinion. Now, I would love to sell some of the silage today. Like I said, if we don't get to it, we don't get to it, right? It is what it is, but I would love to sell some. But at the same time, I already talked to you. I think it might be more of a smarter approach for us to try to at least get one of these fields prepped and ready to go to be re-drilled with canola or whatever we decide to put in it, right? It's definitely the busy months right now, right? Definitely the busy months. All right, let's get our trailer. Let's get these bales up. We already got a pound of flour, man. How fantastic is that? I think I put that almost in as perfect of a spot as I possibly could. I didn't want the mill itself to reach too far out, and the little track, if you will, that we have over there. It might still become partial of a problem, but I think I got it in a pretty decent spot where it won't be. Alright, we're going to have to do multiple trips here. Can't get close enough to them. Oh man, we literally just barely made it in time with the harvest. Look at that, the rain's here. It doesn't say anything about rain. No, now it does. Now it does. When we looked at it, I swear, I'm not crazy, right? Somebody can help me in the comments if I missed it, but I swear there was no rain on the forecast there in the bottom where the numbers are and everything. I know I saw it up top, but I swear there was nothing down there. Speaking of rain, we had a discussion around this, right? So what's going to happen if we have a situation where it rains the entire day? Because it can happen. It's rare, but it does happen in this game. So what are we going to do then? Well, what we decided was that, to be fair for everyone, and not just have to modify, everything and say we're going to do multiple days per month, but then skip bunches of days whenever we don't need them, we're just going to deal with it. In other words, if it's raining and you have a harvest to do, well, you're going to have to harvest it when it rains, or you're going to have to hold on to it and wait, or whatever you want to do. You're going to have to... You're just going to have to figure out a way around it, right? And it's fair for everyone that way, right? So if you get screwed because of the rain, you get screwed because of the rain. If you got to harvest at a loss, you got to harvest at a loss, right? So that's what we've decided. We've all kind of agreed upon. I think Rusty was a little less agreeable about that, but Rusty and I 100%, that's what we kind of came up with. I might be wrong on that. He might be okay with it. I don't know. But Crestu and I kind of were like, yeah, let's just set it where if it rains, then it is what it is, and you have to do a harvest, and it's going to rain the whole day, then you're going to have to harvest in the rain. It makes it completely fair across the board for everyone. It's not always going to be the same person getting screwed, right? Actually, look at this. Look at this. We had plenty of room to get them all on here. That's impressive. I was not expecting that at all. So we'll love that. So that's a lot of bales. I said I was going to store them, but I don't know, man. Maybe we should just sell them. Maybe we should just sell them. We could use the money. And if it says the average bed press price is 52, right? If that's what it says, which it does, then I don't know, man. The silage is what's kind of, you know, tempting me not to do it, because the silage obviously is way more than what it says the average best price is at Bale Export. We've got to go up there anyway, because we're going to sell some silage. Pulling 3 trailers is probably going to be a little unrealistically ridiculous with the just the power of this thing. It's not the most powerful thing in the world, right? This is probably going to be bad. I'm going to move this pallet really quick. There's not much in there. It's not really going to do much, but we're going to move it anyway. Keep this trying to produce. It's not going to get us another pallet, unfortunately, before the next episode, but that's all right. Did we get any more animals today? We did. We did get some more sheep. So we got 3 more sheep. We'll take that. That's it. Just 3 more sheep is all we got. Okay. We've got some wool down here, which is nice. We also have, it looks like a pallet of, pallet of eggs have started as well. These are good things, man. These are very good things for us. Now, one thing I didn't look at was the silage pole. Did it run out? I'm assuming it did. It did run out of silage additive. So we're going to get more silage additive. There's 61,000 liters of silage in here. That's a lot. We're definitely not going to be able to get all of it in one trip. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to get it all in one trip. Really, we're only doing this because... Oop, wrong thing. We're really only doing this because we want, honestly, to get a little money back in the account. Just for the fees and interest and stuff that we incur, right? We just want to make sure we have enough money. I don't want to go into the red. I think Krusty went into the red early on for a brief period of time, but we definitely don't want to do that. I'm doing the best I can to make sure we don't ever get into that point. So this is not going to be the most elegant thing you've seen when I try to back this up. So don't yell at me too much here, gang. I am not good at backing up these trailers here. That's why I kind of had it connected already. Oh, no, I had it. There we go. Okay, this is not perfect. Not by any means. Let's fill this up with some silage here. This is going to be very heavy. It's probably going to take us an absolute eternity to get it up there and sell it. And then we're going to back this thing up into it. And then I got to turn around and fill up that one with silage as well. We got what I really wanted to accomplish today done, though. We got the mill up, and we got both fields harvested, right? That was one of the key things that need to be done today. Like I said, this is going to be heavy. It's going to take us a long time to get up to speed. I've got to be very, very careful when I go across that bridge. Very careful. Okay, so let's see. Okay, how much silage is left in there? 25,000. So that's actually a decent amount left in there, but it's not terrible. Let's get up here and let's go and sell all this stuff. This is going to be immense. Like I said, look at it trying to go. It's taking forever to get up to speed. We'll also take a little peek as we go by everyone and see what they're doing here. And like I said, we will also do another flyby here at the end of the episode. It's quite a train right there we got going on, huh? So Crusty's changed his baling technique again. He's now got the round bales, they are circles, the round bales out again. Looks like he got that harvest done too, so that's good for him. Not sure how long he'll keep that harvester since he's going heavy on that. Maybe he keeps it the whole time, I don't know. But since he's going heavy on the root crops now, he might get rid of that harvester. So the reason I decided to change my mind mid-episode, after I told you I was probably going to keep it, is because we're going to have a ton more straw coming, right? We've got a ton more straw coming down the line here in the next couple of episodes, and we can store all of that and kind of see how that goes. This is really to get us back in a better spot money-wise. Not that we're in a terrible spot, but, you know, we're getting a lot of fees and interest every month, right? So this is going to put us in a little bit more of a comfortable spot where we're going to be able to keep stuff, I guess is what I should say, right? So I think the straw bales are just going to be sold here as well. So we just probably need to do... I might have to turn on the thing. Yeah, it's selling them. I think a couple maybe missed there. It looks like they did. Might be pushing them in there right now. I did just push them in there. Alright, so we got $4,050 basically from that. I mean, I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. That's just some extra money to put us back in a better spot, right? Lots and lots of silage to sell here. This is going to put us in a good spot. Speaking of that, ooh, there's a... Oh, did he just sell that? I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure Crusty, like they made those changes to go to the root crop. So I think he bought this and then sold it immediately after, which makes sense. I mean, if he's not going to be doing that anymore, why does he need that anymore? He doesn't. I mean, I guess he would need it technically for grass mowing if he's going to do that, which I think he has to at least do that. He still has his goats, I think. So this is going to get us in a real good spot here. Let's see. We've got, well, Rusty's got more than us, but that's the only one. We're back in a good spot. Crusty is really low on money. Okay, I said we were going to do a flyby. Let's do a quick flyby here. All right, so he baled that. Does he still have... Is that his? Let's see. There's the little crop that I killed of his, by the way. That's why I killed my crop there. You saw what I killed. It's pretty much even. So I do feel bad about that. Just trying to mess with him. I didn't realize it was going to push him into his own crops. He's got the harvester. Yeah, it looks like he did sell it. I don't see the baler anymore, so he did sell that. I love doing root crops myself, so I can understand why he's going that approach. Which is weird, because I hate potatoes, but anyway. Let's see. What's Rusty got going on over here? Doesn't look like much, honestly. Looks like he mowed today. He did the harvest today for sure. But that looks like about it. I don't see anything specifically new. Yep. All right, well... Gang, we're going to leave the episode at that point. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button on the case you have yet to do so. It's free and helps me out an absolute ton. Make sure you check out the other guys' recordings. There's a link down below to each of their channels, so make sure you check them out. Thanks to my members. Cannot thank them enough. There's a link down below for that as well if you want to join and see videos like this one early. Discord's down there. My other channel's down there, etc. Everything you need, it's all down there thanks for watching. Thanks for your team support. Looks like I picked up a passenger, and he just fell off. And I'll see you in the next one.